All right, according to data, in Nigeria today, quality has overtaken price as top consideration for fast-moving consumer goods buyers. A notable shift, highlighted in the 2024 geo poll across sub-Saharan African markets, where we saw about 60% of consumers prioritize quality over quantity, and 33% cited quality as the most important purchasing factor, edging out price there at about 31%. Let's discuss this and other matters now impacting the FMCG companies in Nigeria. And joining us for this, we have Mohale Eluenu, who's the MD, PZ Cousins Africa, joining me right here in the studio. It's great to have you.
Hi,
welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
Fantastic. So, definitely it's the same old issues, at this point. And we're trying to, gauge the state of the Nigerian consumer. Data, from June, inflation, we're seeing headline inflation there still 22.22%, even though it's, due to the methodology, it's no more in the 30s, at this point, but still elevated. Then we have other indicators there, talking about business expectation survey from the CBN and consumer expectation survey, what they're seeing for inflation, in the months ahead. And we see improvement there, according to the data. But, talk to me about how business is looking, for your sector, in the first half of 2025. Is it better?
No, in the sector, it's definitely, we're going through the same challenges as the broader Nigeria macroeconomic thing. We have the same turbulence, right? The same headwinds, whether that's inflation, energy prices, devaluation. These are challenges that mean volumes are strained because of lower consumer purchasing power, but also within our P&Ls, it's definitely tough because we have to figure out innovative solutions to mitigate the headwinds we talk about and ensure we can deliver margin resilience, or where possible, deliver margin accretion. So right. Yes, it's a tough one. We've been able to navigate it better than most, but again, that's due to a very tailored, integrated set of solutions to try to tackle this, as well as a spectacular organization that has gone above and beyond to make this happen at PZ Cousins.
Right, and you did mention, foreign exchange market, and, the central bank governor says there's been stability, since, mid-2024, into 2025. Are you seeing that?
Mid-2024, yeah.
That's good for business, at this point, stability.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to tell you at 1,005.
Even though I am not comfortable at those levels.
At those levels, yes.
1.5. I don't like 1.5.
For the consumer, 1,535 to $1 is always going to be severely challenging, especially when you compare that with June 2023, when it was about 400, or even at the black market, 700, 800. However, from a business perspective, the key word is stability to enable planning, preparation, forecasting. And what has happened is, as it has stabilized, even though at high levels for the consumer, and definitely detrimental to the consumer wallet, we are able to plan more. Because that stability enables us to forecast, enables us to build our revenue growth management measures and figure out our sourcing interventions in order to kind of chart our way towards profitability. So yes, from a business standpoint, that stability has been beneficial. You've seen it across the sector. You've seen those who've navigated it better are delivering strong growth, double-digit growth in terms of revenues and return to profitability. From our side, we've been able to, I don't want to kind of spook the auditors, but we've been able to do that, delivering revenues in our Nigeria business, over 40% growth, PZ Cousins Nigeria, and also return into profitability. So yes, from a business standpoint, not necessarily from a consumer wallet standpoint, but it's been, that stability has translated towards being able to understand the indices that go into our business planning and our ability to respond to it in a very intentional, deliberate manner, and has minimized the shock or the shocks that often kind of toss us around whenever we kind of work towards our goals in a business standpoint.
And do you see this stability, continuing, going forward?
Oh, to have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
If I had that, I would probably be doing something else, making a ton more money. No, the trends tell us yes. And maybe that's a bit of wishful thinking and optimistic. Nigerians were ever optimistic, but the trends tell us, right? When you see that banking, all of a sudden, your Naira card can get you dollars. When you see that there's an ability to access FX, when you see the delta or the premium between the parallel or black market versus the official market narrowing to almost a naira over the last few weeks, it portends that growth. Clearly, foreign portfolio investors are finding Nigeria a versatile or virile hunting ground, and that's happening, right? You think about energy, petrol prices now. It's not exponential, but you see those decreases to 890 when something was topping over 900, 1,000 a few months back. So you take a look at that, and there's some positivity, right? Our Q1 GDP numbers showing 3.3% growth, not where we need to be, because you need to more than double your population growth for the gains to translate across the entire population and impact all socioeconomic sectors and categories. But still, that is a good portent.
Mr. Rouhani said, happy data, unhappy people. No, we don't want that.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
At this point. So let's look at the consumer at this point. From your view, we've seen your sales, revenue, and all of that. How resilient is the Nigerian consumer so far?
The Nigerian consumer is the embodiment of resilience, right? If you look into the dictionary and you look up resilience, you will see a picture of the Nigerian consumer. I kid you not. Try it right now.
Right.
But yes, that's not to say the Nigerian consumer is not dealing with incredible, crushing headwinds, right? The Nigerian consumer has been through a lot over time. It's not necessarily just in the last couple of years, over time. But yes, they continue to remain resilient. We continue to show optimism and positivity. We see that in some of the businesses that we do, right? I just talked about our revenue growth and our return to profitability. That's driven by a consumer that, despite these challenges, is still voting with their wallet for quality products, products that will improve their lives, products that they trust, products that give them value. Right, so you see that, right, and you still see it. Yes, there's still travel involved in Nigeria. Nigerians still take out the weekend to enjoy themselves. Owambe hasn't died.
Right.
There is that resilience, and that's why it is important to note that for businesses, whether multinationals or locals, this is a great place to do business, because the consumer, that is 200 million people in Nigeria, right? An economy that is showing positive GDP growth. And it's one for the future with a median age of 18. One that demonstrates and continues to demonstrate resilience, and it's one for the future. It's great for companies to come invest and keep growing in Nigeria, because it's a perfect circle of reward, right? You get to employ, increase our employment levels, and at the same time, the companies can benefit rewards from investing and staying in this market,
right,
which is what we definitely intend to do today and for the long term.
Right. I'm talking about you at this point. We know some FMCG companies have been accused of shrinkflation. At this point, you reduce the sizes and you still charge the same price, at this point. How are you seeing all of that play out?
Oh, I mean, the consumer, it's an interesting one, and it's a great question. Shrinkflation is part of that is because it's the company's way of ensuring marginal resilience. Companies still have to they're responsible and accountable to their shareholders. They still have to make profit and ensure they adapt or adopt sustainable business models that ensure they are here for the long term. So they will take options like this. In the industry, we call it price pack architecture. The consumer will say shrinkflation, where you kind of play with your packs, your pack size, your pricing points, and come up with different products that target different consumer segments, different consumer purchase, and usage occasions, right? So yes, that is a thing, and it's for the company's long-term health. But at the same time, there are consumer benefits to this, right? We find that consumers in Nigeria, for example, the different, massive diversity from a consumption, but from a socioeconomic population standpoint, right? We talked about GDP now, new numbers coming in, $243 billion, right? That's great, but at the same time, your GDP per capita is just about...
Some economists say not so great.
Not so great, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. The per capita is about 1,000, roughly 1,000. So obviously that's not translating, like Rouhani says, happy data, not happy people.
Right.
Which means, as a company, you need to find a way to target products for different strata, socioeconomic consumer groups within the population. be shrinkflation, or what you do with products, different sizes, different packs, different price points, is critical to be able to delight consumers no matter where they come from, right? Geographically, but also socioeconomically. So it's delicately balanced on the knife edge, but there are benefits for the consumer and there are benefits for the company too.
So everyone wins, at this point, somehow.
Everyone is in a dance that ensures they stay afloat.
Thank you so much. It was great having this conversation with you. This is Ogale Leon, who's the MD, PZ Cousins Africa. Thank you for coming in today.
No worries. Thank you for having me, and do have an awesome day.
Thank you.
All right.